Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sharmila from Sage University, Bhopal. Today I will discuss on crystal systems. So, crystalline materials, they are separated into 7 different crystal systems. These crystal systems are most easily identified by the constraints on the cell parameters. Note, however, that the cell parameter constraints are only necessary conditions. So the 7 crystal systems we will read. The 7 crystal systems each describe separate ways that simple three-dimensional lattices may be constructed. As with all lattice systems, crystalline lattices are considered to have lattice points on the corners of the unit cell. Lattice points are selected so that the local environment around any particular lattice point is identical to the environment around any other lattice point. So the 7 crystal systems are triclinic, monoclinic, orthorhombic, tetragonal, trigonal, hexagonal, and cubic. I will discuss about details. So what is unit cells? Before going to the details of the crystal systems, we will learn what is unit cells. These regularly repeating blocks are known as unit cells. The dimensions of a unit cell are described by the length of the three axes A, B, and C and the three interaxial angles alpha, beta, and gamma. In most published papers, the axial lengths are expressed in terms of angstroms and the interaxial angles are expressed in terms of degrees. So basically, these are the building blocks. Regularly repeating building blocks are known as unit cells. So what are the unit cells? Here we can see there are three axes A, B, C and the angles are defined as alpha, beta, gamma for each unit cell. So the unit cells can be of 7 types. First one is cubic, where A equals to B equals to C and alpha equals to beta equals to gamma equals to 90 degree. In tetragonal, A equals to B not equals to C and but alpha equals to beta equals to gamma equals to 90 degree. Orthorhombic system, alpha is A is not equals to B is not equals to C. So all the lengths are different, but alpha equals to beta equals to gamma equals to 90 degree. So for these cubic, tetragonal and orthorhombic, the angles, all angles are 90 degree. In case of monoclinic, A not equals to B not equals to C and alpha equals to gamma equals to 90 degree, but beta is not equals to 90 degree. For hexagonal, A equals to B not equals to C, alpha equals to beta equals to 90 degree, gamma equals to 120 degree. So that is also defined. In case of rhombohedral, A equals to B equals to C and A equals alpha equals to beta equals to gamma, which are not equals to 90 degree. So none of the angles are 90 degree in case of rhombohedral. In triclinic, A is not equals to B is not equals to C and also alpha not equals to beta not equals to gamma not equals to 90 degree. So in case of cubic system, we can see all the edges are equal, all the angles are equal and they are equal to 90 degree. In case of triclinic, none of the edges are equal, none of the angles are equal and also none of the angles are 90 degree. So in case of cubic lattice, this is the most symmetrical of the systems. All the angles are equal to 90 degree and all the sides are of the same length. Only the length of one of the side is required to describe this system completely. In addition to simple cubic, the cubic lattice also induces body-centered cubic and face-centered cubic. Body-centered cubic results from the presence of an atom or ion in the center of a cube, in addition to the atoms positioned at the vertices of the cube. In a similar manner, a face-centered cubic requires, in addition to the atoms positioned at the vertices of the cube, the presence of atoms or ions in the center of each of the cube's face. Okay, so this was the cubic lattice, which is the most symmetrical of all other systems. Now, tetragonal and orthorhombic. The tetragonal lattice has all its angles equal to 90 degree and has 2 out of the 3 sides of equal length. The system also includes body-centered tetragonal. Okay. In an orthorhombic lattice, all the angles are equal to 90 degree while all its sides are of unequal length. The systems needs only to be described by 3 lattice parameters. This system also includes body-centered orthorhombic, base-centered orthorhombic, and face-centered orthorhombic. Base-centered lattice has, in addition to the atoms or ions positioned at the vertices of the orthorhombic lattice, atoms positioned on just 2 opposing faces. So 3 types of lattice we have seen. It can be body-centered when an atom or ion is in the center of the body. Face-centered face-centered systems in which the atoms are positioned at the presence of the in the center of each of the cube's face, and in the body-centered cubic lattice, here the ions or atoms are on the 2 opposing faces. They are positions on just 2 opposing faces. The rhombohedral lattice is also known as trigonal and has no angles equal to 90 degree. But all sides are of equal length. A equals to B equals to C, thus requiring only by 1 lattice parameter. And all 3 angles are also equal. Alpha equals to beta equals to gamma. A hexagonal crystal structure has 2 angles equal to 90 degree with the other angle equal to 120 degree. For this to happen, the 2 sides surrounding the 120 degree angle must be equal, while the third side is at 90 degree to the other sides and can be of any length. What about monoclinic and triclinic? The monoclinic lattice has no sides of equal length, but 2 of the angles are equal to 90 degree, with the other angle, generally defined as beta, is being something other than 90 degree. So one angle will not be equal to 90 degree and none of the sides are equal length. It is a tilted parallelogram prism with rectangular bases. This system also includes base-centered monoclinic. In the triclinic lattice, none of the sides of the unit cell are equal and none of the angles within the unit cell are equal to 90 degree. The triclinic lattice is chosen such that all the internal angles are either acute or obtuse. This crystal system has the lowest symmetry and must be described by 3 lattice parameters and the 3 angles. So all the parameters will be required to describe a triclinic lattice. So these are the 7 crystal systems. But in Bravais lattice, the Bravais lattice is the basic building block from which all crystals can be constructed. So this is the main basic building block. The concept originated as a topological problem of finding the number of different ways to arrange points in space where each point would have an identical atmosphere. That is, each point would be surrounded by an identical set of points as any other point, so that all points would be indistinguishable from each other. Mathematician Auguste Bravais discovered that there were 14 different collections of the groups of points, which are known as Bravais lattice. These lattices fall into 7 different crystal systems, which we have already discussed, as differentiated by the relationship between the angles between sides of the unit cell and the distance between points in the unit cells. So we can say assembly of the lattice points in 3D dimension results in 14 possible combinations. Those 14 combinations may have any of the 7 crystal systems or symmetries. These 14 possibilities are the Bravais lattice. Here we can see cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, trigonal, monoclinic and triclinic. And along with this, P is primitive, the I is body-centered, F is face-centered, and the C is side-centered or base-centered. So, 7 crystal classes are there, and if we count, there will be total 14 Bravais lattice. So, what are primitive or simple unit lattice? When all the atoms are present at the corners of the unit cell, that is primitive or simple cubic system. Non-primitive can be of 3 types, as we have already said: face-centered, body-centered, and base-centered. Face-centered means along with all the vertices, the atoms are there on the 6th face of the cubes. So that is known as face-centered cubic lattice. When in addition to the atoms on the corner, they are at the centers of 2 end faces. That is known as end-centered or base-centered. What is body-centered? Body-centered are when the atoms are present at 8 corners as well as in the body, centered in a cubic unit cell. Then this arrangement is known as body-centered cubic lattice. Okay, so this was all about the crystal systems, 14 Bravais lattice and 7 crystal systems. Thank you.